Hello, friends and fans of the podcast. So, this is essentially me fulfilling my word. So, Fridays are going to be music only. And, I kind of went through this like internal battle because this episode is about music, but it's about one of my personal releases. And I'll be honest, I thought to myself, well, maybe what I should do in this case is just drop it. Record it and drop it. Don't put it into the queue. Let it go out right away. And I thought about that. But I really do want to, and as time goes by, I'm kind of going through this phase where I'm just like, I might even be laying in bed trying to sleep and literally thinking to myself, like, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to make Mondays movie Monday. So if I do a movie review, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna just drop it on a Monday. It's not gonna be on a Friday, and I can just drop it on any Monday after October 1st once I go back into releasing episodes. So here I am thinking, okay, so Fridays when I do my one episode a week on Friday, that's gonna be music only. And then I'm like, well, what if I release one of my own songs and then I just drop it on any day? Well, then it kind of breaks the Fridays music only type of thing. So it's like, all right, you know what? I'll release my own releases. I will release an episode that talks about one of my own personal musical creations. I'll do that on a Friday. I'll throw it in the queue. It doesn't have to go out right away. I think for the past like 3 years, I've pretty much have tried all forms of self promotion, and it's really difficult. I don't even know where to begin with how difficult it is. It's just really difficult to self promote unless you're doing something that is, I hate to say this, and I've noticed, and this is one of the reasons why I'm like totally off of Instagram and Facebook, because I feel as though the algorithms and the fan favorites, which kind of feeds the algorithms a little bit, don't really do your average musician any favors. I've noticed that musicians, this is what I've noticed. If you're attractive, you could be male, you could be female. If you're attractive, you may not even be releasing a ton of music. Seriously, you could release a song once every 6 months. But if you're attractive, if you're an attractive young lady, if you're an attractive dude, and you just have some kind of ability, you play guitar really well, or you play piano really well, I feel as though a lot of views, a lot of algorithms kind of help people see those accounts. And that's totally fine. And trust me, if I was able to draw an audience due to just my face, maybe I would. Uh, and then I've also noticed with musicians this, and I think a lot of people have noticed this also, and I'm not knocking it. You're a guitar player. You're really good. Which, quite honestly, it's about time the public recognizes that Eddie Van Halen, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Eric Clapton are not gods. They're very good guitar players. They're some of the best out there who are professional guitarists. But the internet has basically said, hey, look, here are hundreds, thousands of other musicians who have a ton of talent, and they would otherwise never have been noticed. And I find that social media nowadays is allowing people to get exposure, whether you're Steve Terraberry, or I'm trying to think of other musicians who, what they do is they're very talented, but they kind of have to have a personality and something else to offer in order to get their talent shown. There's another guy out there. Let me just check my phone real quick, because I actually sent him a message and I'm like, hey, what if you checked out my Tyler Larson? He's another one. He does the Music Is Win page. Really talented. I don't see Stevie T and Tyler Larson, and trust me, they're like just the tip of the iceberg. There are scores of people who are talented musicians who are creating music related content, but they're not really sitting there releasing their own material. They're not like, okay, I'm gonna write and produce a song and I'm gonna release it, and let's see if just that song will grow some wings and just fly away into stardom. No, they're creating content that a lot of people are identifying with, and there's another one too. I forget his name. He's from Wings of Pegasus. It's interesting, and I don't know why he does this. He will upload a video to YouTube, and in the description it says British guitarist analyzes Neil Young's guitar solo, and I'm thinking, all right, yeah, you're a Brit and you're a guitarist, so that's a great description of your video. You're a British guitarist. I just think it's weird, but he's another one. He's got a great following. Rick Beato, who had some prior success actually with production and music writing and what have you. He's also now a big YouTuber. And believe it or not, I've contacted him. Also, I've contacted a lot of people who have had a lot of exposure in the music industry, basically saying, here's a link to my stuff. And I don't want fame. I don't want notoriety. I want a career in music. I want to just be somewhere. I can work with a team. I don't need to be on the stage under the spotlight. Quite honestly, I don't think people want to see me on the stage under the spotlight. But I mean, I don't want that. I want to have a career with, songwriting. And it's tough. Some songwriters, and I listened to a podcast just the other night, some pop stars, and this is why I think pop, current pop. I don't know how to say this without sounding like a pompous jerk, but like current pop has gone through this phase where like teams of people are like, okay, well we have the cookie cutter background beat ready. Let's change that background organ to a background, a synth. Let's just switch the instrument. The MIDI notes can stay the same. So they have a very cookie cutter approach to music. And then they'll say, okay, here we go. Now let's add a hook. If we add a hook, let's get someone to write us a hook. And then at the beginning of the song, we'll put the hook in. We'll repeat it after the first chorus, and then we'll repeat it before the song fades out. And that's it. So they have a very cookie cutter approach to music, and it's almost by the time the song is done, it's like, who was the creator of this song again? Who actually wrote the song? And I'm not coming right out per se and criticizing that form of songwriting. I'm just saying it's not I hate to say it's not songwriting, but it kind of isn't. It's not. Okay, I remember reading, and I used to when I was in school in the '90s and stuff. I had access to the internet. I was one of the first of all my friends to actually get access to the internet because of my father's career. But I still read Guitar Magazine and Rolling Stone magazine. I had them all piling up in my house. I read an article about Bruce Springsteen, and he has kind of like this reputation of like America's rocker. He'll just show up at your house and give him a guitar, let him play the guitar, and let him say, almost like, like America's party boy, just play the guitar, sing, grab a Budweiser, watch some baseball, and let's all, run off into the sunset together. He has that kind of personality, and I understand why. I get it. However, he would be at parties, and people were drinking, guys and girls over in the corner flirting. And there's Bruce Springsteen sitting on the floor behind the sofa with a notebook and a guitar. And he's slowly with his thumb like strumming chords. Oh, I'm going to go from A minor to C, and let me write that down. Oh, I'm going to do this. And then he starts writing lyrics. He was a songwriter. And then by the time the song was done, he would have a song, which sounds obvious, like no duh. But today, especially in the pop world, it's really different. That starting from scratch, sitting down and just kind of soul searching. Just it's a very purposeful thing. It's very purposeful. You say to yourself, okay, what do I feel? Oh, I feel this. Sometimes you feel something first and then you say, I have to write because I really feel something. And then a song comes out. So that's one of the reasons why I've contacted a lot of people. I've written emails to people like Rick Beato and Tyler Larson, and I've written honestly, I was thinking about going online and finding some other producers and doing the same thing, sending them my link and saying, "Hey, I don't care if you have to find someone who might physically be a little bit easier to deliver this song." Now, the problem, I'm putting myself at risk here because my problem is this. Someone might contact me, and trust me, this could happen. Someone could contact me and say, I like the song. Can I buy it outright? So they give me whatever, $1,000. They'd buy the song. Now they have the rights to that song, and they're the writer, and they can take it apart. They can change the lyrics. They can do what they want. I run the risk of that happening. The song all of a sudden getting released and I don't even recognize what it looks like anymore. And then, of course, I also run the risk of becoming a cog. Becoming a cog in this whole entire machine. Like, oh, yeah, let's just take the hook from that song that Artie sent us. So that does happen, and it happens really easily. And, I understand. I understand that certain things happen. I've had people send me songs and say, "Can you write something for this song?" And then they write back and say, "Wow, that hook! I'm definitely using the hook." I tend to really, I don't know why, but people tend to like my hooks, whether it's on trumpet or something else. They tend to like the 4 or 8 bars of whatever that I can put into a song, and I tend to do that in my own music. I'll start off a song with a hook or whatever the case may be. So I get it. Music is definitely a collaborative art. It's one of those things where you can remove and add aspects of a song, and it's all still part of the art. But long story short, I have released a new song. So I used the internet. I got in touch with a violinist. I got in touch with a singer. Her name is Mika Franco. She's from Argentina. And I contacted those two first. I wrote the violin part. I had the lyrics done. I had the vocal melody all taken care of. And Mika and Irina, she's the one who, not Irina the singer that I've worked with, but Irina the violin player. She added the violin. I got all that ready. And then I contacted my friend Piotr. Now, Piotr is a trumpet player. And I had asked him about a possible collaboration. And first of all, I love this guy. He's worked with people like Ricky Martin and Raymond Zarek from The Doors. And I did a little bit of research on him, and I remember when he first moved. I don't know if it was when he first moved from Poland to Chicago. I'm trying to remember if that was the article I read. But, I mean, how many trumpet players leave Poland, they move to the city in the United States, and then they get an article written about them? And there was an article written about his trumpet playing, and they just went on and on about his vibrato, how good he is at the trumpet, and how excited they are to add him to the Chicago music scene. So just that in and of itself really speaks volumes as to the character, but also the musicianship that this man, Piotr Bal, has with him. And I hope I'm pronouncing his last name right. It's spelled B-A-L. Great musician, multi-instrumentalist, plays trumpet, but he also plays guitar and keyboards, and you can just tell that, I can tell also because I've worked with him, he's got an ear for music, and of course you might be thinking to yourself, well, if you're a musician, shouldn't you have an ear for music? Well, no, not really. There are a lot of musicians out there who sit down, they strum the guitar, they sing songs, the songs are great, the band rallies around them. Next thing you know, they release a song and poof, there you go, it's a hit. But that songwriter, that singer, might not actually even have a very tuned ear when it comes to music. It's very common in the music world. Music is such a wide open art. It really is. I think a lot of people don't realize that even within the music world, you have people who are very technical, people who are very mechanical, like a David Gilmour, who was very mechanical, but he was also very melodic, and that was a good combination, and that's why that worked out so well for Pink Floyd, and all this stuff. But Piotr is great because I don't have to explain anything to him. You know, I send him the song, I send him the chord changes, and then he sends something back, and I've never had to send anything back and say, well, that's kind of not where I was going with the song. No, he knows, he understands, he feels where the song is going, and he contributes to it because he puts himself emotionally into the song. So that's hard to come by. So, and he's got some material too on his own. If you go to like YouTube and look up Piotr Bal, Piotr is the first name, Bal is the last name. He's got some stuff that he worked on with other artists. He's got some stuff that he worked on with the keyboard player from the Doors, with Raymond Zarek. They produced an album together. I believe Piotr himself produced it, mixed and mastered it. I could be wrong. I don't want to, speak out of turn, but I guess there is no turn if I'm the only one speaking. But I don't want to mislead anybody. But from what I remember Piotr saying is that he produced that on his own, which is really something, to not just write and co-write the music, but to mix and master it too is a lot of work. But he, instead of playing trumpet on this song, he did the outro guitar solo to it. And when I heard the outro guitar solo, my first thought was, wow, should I erase my guitar solo? Because I had a guitar solo in the song too. And it's my style. My guitar solo is my style. And you can hear the two different styles that Piotr has in mind. But his guitar solo was just so nice. I'm thinking to myself, I think my guitar solo makes the song sound worse. I should have had him do both, But he did a really great job on it. But that's the song. The song is called Soul in Disguise. I tried to add a few different things to it. I tried to be creative with like some stops. I tried to, I don't sit down when I write a song and say to myself, okay, I'm going to make the song sound like X genre. No, if I hear something that I like from a certain genre, whether it be rock, progressive, whether it be something even operatic, and if you've listened to my music, there's a lot of operatic themes in there. I don't really sit down and say, I want my song to sound like reggae, or I want my song to sound operatic. I take aspects of music that I like from all different genres, and I say, I liked the vocal arrangement or choral arrangement in this song that I heard on the radio. I'm going to see if I can add that to this song. Or I liked the chimes, or I liked that SRV, the Stevie Ray Vaughan Texas blues sound of guitar. I'm going to try to do a little bit of that, and I will hear aspects and say I like that trick, and then try to employ it. So, but anyways, yes, the song is called Soul in Disguise. All of it was written by me except that last guitar solo. That was actually Piotr's contribution. I did not write it for him and then say, play this if you can. I gave him complete creative freedom, and he blew me away to the point where I literally thought that I should just drop my guitar solo and put something else in there because his guitar solo is so crisp, and it's just really nice. So I think that it really contributes a lot to the song. Irina's violin playing, very emotional, and it's just, she really carried the emotion as to what I was trying to do. And Mika Franco, now she has some stuff on Bandcamp. She has some stuff on I believe on YouTube. She has some stuff published in other areas, and she's good. She's good. And I liked her voice anyways. I'm going to say this. I liked her voice anyways. She does not have a strong accent, which I hate to sound racist. And and I'm gonna put myself out there because I want to speak from the heart. I just don't want to sit here and measure everything I'm gonna say because I'm afraid of getting the PC police to cancel me or something. But when I hire a singer who is from another country, and especially if I go to like Fiverr, it'll say the level they get tested, and it'll say the level of their English, conversational, fluent, native. You're not really going to have any issues. But I've had singers, and they're singing in English, and then they say something like the word car, right? And they roll their R. They're like car, and yeah, call me a racist jerk. I will write back and say, can you take the roll of the R out? I know you can pronounce car kind of like an American because I've heard you sing it in other songs. In this case, I would rather have you say car instead of car because I think it just kind of distracts. And it does. It does distract from the song. No matter how racist I may sound, it distracts from the song. I lived in Brazil for 2 years. You should have heard me, the gringo, singing Brazilian songs. There's always that guy in the corner looking at me laughing. Why? Why is he laughing? Because it's funny. It's funny. I have an American accent. I'm sitting there I am, some gringo living out in the middle of the campo in Brazil, right? And I'm singing Brazilian songs like a gringo. And they just find it adorable, which is all good and fine. But when I'm trying to produce a song, I don't want that distraction in there. I just want people to just hear the song, But with Mika, none of that. She does not have a strong accent. Her voice, when she did the vocal lead, it was just really nice. But then this is what really surprised me. Her harmonizing. And I don't quite know why it hit me the way it did. And I'm so glad it wasn't just me. I had people, and if you want to comment, feel free to comment. I had people literally email me or text me saying, hey, who's harmonizing with Mika? I'm like, no, that's Mika harmonizing with herself. And they're like, oh my God, she's just really good at harmonizing, And she is, and stuff like that can't. You can't overlook it. You can't overlook the importance of harmonizing, especially if it's like the last 3 words of a verse. And go to YouTube and listen to this song. What's the name of the song? It's by Mick Flannery and Susan O'Neill. It's called Chain Reaction. The first verse, he's singing. And he's got a really nice voice. But then, bam, the last couple of words of the verse, 3 or 4 vocalists come in. And I don't even think they were harmonizing. I think they were just singing the same notes. They just came in as backing vocals. But it just all of a sudden hits you in the heart when the last couple of words of that verse is sung by 5 people instead of 1. It's like, whoa! It's a small thing. It's easy to add. A lot of people don't add that to their music. They think, I'm just going to sing the song. And I'm telling you, man, backing vocals, it's so huge. So huge. Backing vocals is so big that there are a lot of songs people don't even know it's there. Because the backing vocals kind of make the song, the backing vocals and the harmonize make the song what it is. But no one realizes there's 4 voices there. The song sounds so natural, they think that it's the lead singer only. But no, if you take out all of the backing vocals and all of the harmonies from some of the most famous rock songs, you'd be like, what the heck is this? This is horrible. Take some Fleetwood Mac songs. And when Christy McVie starts singing, pretend no one else throughout the whole entire song comes in and sings one backing vocal. Pretend it's just her throughout the whole entire song. You'll realize how important backing vocals are when you think about that. It's really important. Now, Mika did one better. She provided backing vocals, but she harmonized too. Singing like a fifth or third of the root note. That's huge. That's just big. It's just really big. So anyways, long story short, Mika Franco did the lead vocals. Irina Violin, that's the last name she gave me, and I respect that. I think she wants to save her name for if she gets a career doing something else. And then Piotr Bal was the lead guitar player. Pay attention especially to that last guitar solo. That's all him. And yeah, so okay, I'm going to take you out now with the song, Soul in Disguise. Now, before I actually go and play the song, I just want to throw out there what I'm doing, and maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot, and I know that I keep knocking on social media. And I tried Parler. I tried getting back on Parler. I feel like honestly, I feel like when I go to Parler, I feel like I'm some type of political activist, and I'm not. I just want to get away from what I feel to be the greedy approach to algorithms that Facebook and Instagram have. Now, a lot of people, I'm really happy now. A lot of people are beginning to see this. I saw someone the other day. They posted something. Oh no, I think it was in an interview. I think it was a YouTube interview. They were interviewing a musician, and who was it? I don't remember who it was. It wasn't a huge musician in the mainstream, but they said the algorithms on Facebook and Instagram are making it so that you're forced to keep paying for advertising. You're paying for promotions, but then once your promotion period is over, it's like, boom, you're done. YouTube kind of does the same thing. I'm not saying YouTube is any better, but YouTube is strictly for videos. So I'm able to upload a lot of my music videos to YouTube because it's strictly that kind of forum. But if you want to hear my music, I recently signed up to Bandcamp. Don't know how long I'm going to keep it, but I have one song there. Oh, by the way, that one song is Soul in Disguise. I'm on all streaming services, and I'm on YouTube. Go to my website, artieastormusic.com. I am there. You can even get recent podcast episodes on that website. There's some other types of creative works that I have there aside from music. Right there on the website, that's kind of where I do everything creatively. Call me what you will. I don't want to be a part of that social media circus. I feel as though I'm just running on a rat wheel, running in circles and just wasting my energy. And if I'm going to be recognized for songwriting, I just don't think it's going to be through any of those platforms. So I'm just going to stick with YouTube, my website. I'm going to give Bandcamp a chance, and Parler, I don't know. I honestly, I signed up for Parler because I got tired of the Instagram and Facebook, algorithms. I don't think Parler is going to be any better, to be honest with you. I think it is so, it's almost like a statement when you sign up for Parler. And I'm reading everyone's profile, and they're saying, go Trump, and yay, the left stinks and the right, la-di-da-di-da. And it's like, I honestly don't want to be a part of the left's social media or the right's social media. And that's why I signed up for Bandcamp, because it seems like it's just very good for music. Okay, I think I've said enough. So without further ado, here is my new song, Soul in Disguise. Until next time, this is your host, Artie Astor, saying, keep it groovy.
Just can't let your happiness drift away. We're not there yet. There's reason for you to stay. I wanted to find. My soul was in disguise, in disguise, in disguise. My soul, my soul. My soul was in disguise. You'll never be happy depending on others to smile. I'm sorry, but in this life there is no marker at the end of the mile. You can ride the current, be taken away by the wave, but you'll always be a servant, not a cubit in life, you'll say. Disguise, in disguise, my soul, my soul, my soul was in disguise. The door has opened its way to me. The door has opened its way. Its way. My soul is in disguise. My soul is in disguise.